So what wise beverages are we going to be sampling tonight for our dinner?
Oh, wow.
We have some great pairings. So can you tell us a little about the wines?
Indeed. Primarily with Justin Vineyards, we're starting with 2 white wines. One is the Sauvignon Blanc, which we've been making for about 20 years now. Not a lot of Sauvignon Blanc in Paso Robles, but in certain parts of Paso Robles, there are elevated vineyards in limestone with some more cool breeze access from the Pacific, and they can be quite good, very lean style of Sauvignon. So we don't put any oak on the wine. It's very clean, stainless steel fermented, and bottled fairly young, 4 months after it's fermented. So that'll be a fresh, lively starter. We also make a nice Chardonnay that's a lean style of Chardonnay that we don't permit to go through malolactic conversion. So the acids remain very crisp. And we do the same technique with the Sauvignon Blanc to keep freshness and crispness in the wine. So that's a little more robust because of using barrels and because Chardonnay generally is a richer wine than Sauvignon. So that's our first pair. We're going to have a really great Pinot Noir from Landmark. Landmark in Sonoma is primarily a Chardonnay producer. We elected tonight to go with a higher acid Chardonnay from Justin, but Overlook is their best known Chardonnay. And then their Pinot Noir is known as Grand Detour. And Grand Detour is the town in northern Illinois where John Deere was founded about 175 years ago. And the Deere family and its descendants really were the founders of Landmark many years ago in the early 70s. So that Pinot Noir is lean and expressive of all the great red fruit character that we expect out of crisp Pinot in Burgundy, but all of it is grown in several excellent Sonoma Coast vineyards. Just a touch of oak in aging that wine, and it's a very lively wine, so it's a grapefruit wine because it presents that counterpoint of nice acidity. Then our 2 big red wines from Justin. This is really where the rubber meets the road for Paso Robles. One is our blend called Justification, which is Cabernet Franc and Merlot. It's a great main course wine, not as rich and powerful as a Cabernet Sauvignon-driven wine, but certainly almost a better fruit wine because it's leaner. And Cabernet Franc has a spice note, some of it a bit of an herbal note. We grow this on the highest part of our estate vineyard, and it has a great finish. The Merlot just kind of fills it out in the middle. And then our final savory course wine is going to be Savant. Savant is a really powerful, rich, extracted Syrah, which has become one of the major varieties of Paso Robles over the last 25 years or so. And we've been getting good Syrah from a number of growers. We started doing some experiments a few years back to see if we could extract more character out of it and then use it as a blending component as opposed to making it on its own, where it gets really rich. So we make a very rich Syrah by air drying the grapes, by fermenting in open top containers, finishing fermentation in barrel, which is kind of an unusual technique, but the wine needs oxygen. And we worry about oxygen in Chardonnay or in Pinot Noir. We want oxygen in Syrah. So that's a quite robust, intense wine as a finished Syrah. It's almost too much. So we add Cabernet to lighten it up a little bit and give it more structure. So the Syrah is the big juice component, juice bomb, fruit bomb, whatever you want to call it. By itself would probably thrill a lot of critics, but we want it to be a balanced one. So the Cabernet at about 32% comes in to give it structure and ageability. And it's really a fabulous wine, one of our more innovative wines. And then we have Obtuse, which is our dessert wine we've been making for a long time, with Cabernet Sauvignon, but very much like a port. We take some of the mature Cabernet, let it go through fermentation. About halfway through, we curtail fermentation by fortifying with a neutral alcohol. And that bumps up the resulting alcohol. It stops the fermentation. We allow this to sit in older wood for about 6 months and then filter it in the bottle. And it's a really refreshing, youthful, ripe Cabernet-based sweet wine at about 10% residual sugar. Great with chocolate. That's what we make tonight.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, that's my favorite pairing of tonight, so I'm looking forward to it. Well, thank you so much, Joe. We are off now to a great dinner,
Indeed.
So let's get to it. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Pleasure. Thank you.